Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Kayo vs New offers a very interesting matchup as Kayo is able to push a lot of damage with cards like Bloodrush Bellow and chain agility tokens together with cards like Runner. But New is able to throw a lot of disruption and can potentially put Kayo on the back foot pretty quickly. From the Kayo point of view, you're looking to put as much pressure on New as you can, stripping 3 cards from their hand as often as possible. Now, the best way to do this is to set up a 5-card Bloodrush Bellow hand, but one thing you have to be careful about is arsenaling Bloodrush Bellow can put you in a pretty rough spot against cards like Leave No Witnesses and Command and Conquer. The New player really wants to throw disruption as often as possible. Cards like Surgical Extraction, Leave No Witnesses, Command and Conquer, and Persuasive Prognosis offer very good value plays into KO and can strip multiple cards from their hands and put them in a bad spot. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoy the match. Okay, we're playing against New, and it's a little aggressive, but I am playing every card. I kind of want to arsenal this just to try and get them with a Leave No Witnesses. I don't know that that's correct, but so we're going to discard the E-Strike in hopes that we can try to get our opponent here. If they have like a Leave No Witnesses or a Command and Conquer, that they'll be inclined to throw it at us. Now, I am starting the game in like what I would call a gimmicky fashion almost, because this is not a good arsenal target. It's a 3 for 6. Like, it does not have like it's not a great arsenal card other than when you're trying to get your opponent. Also, we're running all 71 cards into our opponent. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I do like throwing, I do like having as many cards as I can in against Assassin just to try and fight the fatigue aspect of this match. Very good hand. Like, we've already opened like a just straight banger of a hand, so I'm really hoping they have like a Command and Conquer effect or something that they want to throw at us, because I'm going to very quickly say no blocks if that's their plan. I am going to say no blocks here. I don't think this is a card I can block. I don't think I want to block this card. Okay, they're going to give it go again, but they don't transcend. Okay, no, they do. So they're going to put an action card. The Persuasive Prognosis is definitely the one going on the bottom. I mean, that's a reaction, so it can't go, but yeah. Definitely. So they give this go again, and then they will activate Mask. We'll discard the Pack Hunt. I think I'd like to keep as many blues in my deck as possible. The longer I can, the better off I'm going to be. Yep. They banish a Clash of Might, and they draw a card and gain a life. This feels like one of those matchups that like New can really shine. I'm surprised that they're not running the combo into me. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So I'm just going to say no blocks. I kind of was hoping that they would go for a play like this. This is beneficial for me, I think. And we draw into a Riled Up. Okay. That's solid. That's solid. We are going to pitch the Mighty Windup. We kept the Wrecker Romp, which is not great. I would have rather have kept the Riled Up there, but beggars can't be choosers. So we actually get to go Claw into Beatdown here. So this is 6, and we get to push a lot of damage, put on our opponent to 35, and then Savage Beatdown for 14. So we had a, 20-point 5-card hand, 4-card hand, I guess, if you will. I guess we had 4 cards when it was all said and done with. So pretty solid numbers that we're outputting here. And I think because I'm running 71 cards in this matchup, I think I can be a little bit more aggressive with just using my cards. But the one thing that I do want to keep in mind is that we are playing like a slower fatigue style game, and the best thing that I can do is throw Claw as many times as possible. Like, that is how you beat fatigue, is just by using your weapons as often, your weapon or weapons as often as possible. And I don't think this is an exception to that rule. All right, so we're up a point now after that turn. We're gonna go Mighty Windup, then the Wrecker Romp here. I can block with Beast Within if I need to. Throw the Claw. Discard the Agile Windup and Arsenal the Runner. We could also just discard the Agile Windup on my turn. I think I'm going to take the 1 here. I don't really have a reason to want to block this. This is one of those cards that you don't ever really want to block, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, but this is a flesh bag card. This is a give flesh bag, and so yeah, this is a give flesh bag and stop them from just being able to turn on its text, which is 3 or more reactions, and that is almost guaranteed they could have done that from there. So I'm pretty happy to just go ahead and give this up. Let's discard Agile Windup. It feels really awkward to not do that on my own turn, but I would much rather do that on my own turn, but I think that the ability from the runner is pretty solid. So let's throw runner for 7. And they've already given 2 pieces of equipment off the Savage Beatdown from turn before last. Or last turn, I guess, whenever it was. It's like we're only 3 turns in, it can only be so far away, right? So the funny part is, like, I think I'm gonna Arsenal the Beast Within again, just because I want to just be like, haha, gotcha, if they have another hand disruption piece. Plus, they probably think with the agility token that I'm cycling here that they're probably gonna like get a lot of value off of what my hand looks like. Like, they think they're probably, if they have an Arsenal disruption piece, they probably think they're going to get a lot of value off of this, so we want to try and stop that. Okay, anytime they banish a blue card. So they're probably going to use Stilettos to give Go Again, if I had to guess. That's what my gut is telling me. They just have a Hiss. That's also like a perfectly reasonable way to give this Go Again. I would really like to be able to throw the Swing Big here if I can. Their turn might just be Spider's Bite into Leave No Witnesses. They blocked with 1 a minute ago, but they could also just throw Command and Conquer from here. I'm going to refresh just in case it's me. Sometimes I'm the drama. So they banish a card. They did get a blue card. So, I mean, it's pretty unfortunate that the one time they threw a red card, they hit a red card. And the one time they threw a blue matters card, that they hit a blue card. The red is statistically way more likely than the blue, but I don't know. It's one of the, I think this is one of those things that honestly, like, new is so new that, like, I'm trying to work through my mentality, because playing Talishar kind of like warps my mind to think that some decks are worse than they are. And then I play against people who are good, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, like that's supposed to happen. But my mindset going into the matchup is like, oh, like I'm favored because like this is a good matchup. Blah, 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 you know, whatever it is I'm thinking. And it's tough to get out of that mindset sometimes. You have to like really be careful, and you have to like, I have to actively work to make sure that I am adjusting to the correct mindset. I hope that makes sense. If I said that and like nothing I said made sense, then, you know, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to explain it. I'm going to banish the Roughshod because it's one of the harder cards for them to play. And gotcha. We go to 18 and draw a Pack Hunt. You love to see it. We do love to see it. So I think I'm going to roll this turn. I know it's a little aggressive. In fact, let's just be real. It's extremely aggressive to roll here when I could just throw Swing Big for 8 after this. But I think that, I mean, they're not really trying to fatigue me. Like, it's turn 4 and they're already down to 20. So, I mean, all right, maybe I'm not going to roll. It's probably just like, I think it's actually just wrong. The upside of rolling is 3 additional points, and while that may be worth it because the game is going so short, I think that rolling a 1 would actually, like, I would probably just lose the game on the spot, especially considering they did not block on the the pack hunt. Since they didn't block on the pack hunt, I think I honestly almost lose on the spot. Wow, they're giving me mask. I mean, I'm not saying that them giving me mask is wrong, but it's very yeah. It's like, I definitely don't think it's correct. Are they just going to 6? So we've just played this game the whole time and they've just pretty much said no blocks, which I mean, all right, come on, let's refresh. Okay, so we're still in the attack step where they get to pick an instant. If it turns out that I clicked pass too many times and we're past the blocking step, I am going to undo, because this is one of those cards that I think I'm okay giving Predatory Assault and Bonebreaker here, because Venomous Bite is 4. Venomous Bite is 4 points, and then a Rousing Wave is 1 point, so they would buff it to 6. Which means maybe I'm just supposed to give Predatory Assault, Bonebreaker, and the Scabs here, because I would really like to avoid them taking a card from my hand if I can. And what we can do is throw the and then whatever we like, we can throw the Bear Fangs, pitching this in packing, and whatever we have left to arsenal, hopefully this we can arsenal it. I do think that blocking 7 is correct here. Now, with just a Nick, it's actually very possible they can just go over the top. That is like a very real thing they can do, but I'm not giving every card in my hand that blocks, because there's also just a chance that they're just going to name go again and then throw something else at me. And I have to be aware of all situations, I think. Play the Slither. Okay, I mean, that's fine. So I basically blocked 7 for nothing. Now I have to hope that it's not like a... I mean, I guess even if it is a surgical extraction, that's okay as long as I don't block, right? Yeah, I think even surgical's okay here. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't really care about this that much. Like, they could push some real damage here. They could, like, buff this up with a Just a Nick, or, you know, there's a lot of cards they could play here offensively, but I think that this is okay. Okay. So they play Hiss, which puts me to 14. Yep. I'm hoping they hit a red here. Okay, so they hit a Bear Fangs, which, like, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather have that, but I think that's okay. We'll take 1 and go to 13. I'm really going to hope they don't have a Codex here. Codex is like cry ourselves to sleep right here. Codex is pretty bad for us. I mean, ultimately it's fine if they have a Codex, but fine. All right, them passing here is a huge W for us, I think. So I'm going to throw the Bear Fangs. And then we get to arsenal a runner. I mean... it's definitely not the best thing in the world, but we are getting to a point to where Reckless Swing is pretty relevant. And also, like, if we could see another Bloodrush here in a turn or two, I think we're in a good spot. I love seeing that they're giving me 2 cards here. That's awesome. Take 3, go to 4. No, gonna block 9. Okay. I mean, listen, I respect it. I understand. Like, sometimes it's necessary to just give up your hand. And Assassin is a class that I think you are rewarded for knowing when to give up your hand and when to keep it. And then if I need to, so from here, I'm going to block with the Scabskins. And if I need to, I can give up Reckless Swing. I don't want to, but I can. All right, this hand is really good. So we pitched the Reckless Swing, discarding the Pack Hunt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely wanted to keep the Pack Hunt, but that's okay. So this is 7 go again, creating a Might for next turn. I think this might be the turn that like puts us in the driver's seat. If we had drawn and discarded the blue, we would have been in a tough spot because we needed resources. That would have been a little awkward, but... And then 3 go again. They may just go to 3 here because they only have 2 cards in hand. No, they block Codex. Okay. And then I'm going to throw the Clash of Agility. Again, Runner is a card that I like having in my arsenal because there's a lot of upside to it. There's a lot of ways that it could potentially win us the game. Ooh, do they have a no block in their hand? That's tough if they have a no block in their hand. It appears they do. We also haven't seen a single defense reaction from them yet, so we're just going to pass. We're also protected from a Codex of Frailty now. We were very fortunate that they did not have Codex last turn. If they do, if they throw a dagger here, I'm probably going to just give up a Command and Conquer. I mean, I guess technically they could have like a... I mean, if they had to leave no witnesses, they would have thrown it by now, right? I think I'm incentivized to just take this, actually, all things considered here. Because they could have a disruption piece. They could have something that matters in their arsenal. And now it would be bad. Yeah, okay. So they did have a Codex. Interesting. So they did have a Codex and they decided not to play it. That is like... If you guys know in the comments, if you have an idea of why they did that, please let me know. We are going to block 5 because this is +1. Plus we get an extra might out of this. So just using our Bone Breaker here is the most efficient play we can make. It's worth noting that if I had actually blocked the Spider's Bite with a Command and Conquer, and then I could have blocked, well, I guess if I would have done that and then blocked the Leave No Witnesses for 4, I would have had to have given an extra card. So it was going to be, it was actually a better play to do it the way I did it. Now, did I know that? No, but it worked out. Okay, we discard a Swing Big, so this is 8 go again. Which is forcing minimum of 3 cards here. I guess it could be double defense reaction. Or it could be a single defense reaction. We haven't seen one from them yet, but it could be a defense reaction if they gave us a defense reaction and a card from hand. Could be okay. Okay, so they do have sinks and stuff like that. I assume they did. Sink and then another card from hand. And then a sink from hand. Okay. I guess they're deciding how they want to sculpt their hand when they're actually like putting cards in the bottom of their deck. They're trying to decide how they want their hand to look moving forward. They put 2 cards on the bottom, and then I'm going to use Tunic to come in for 5, which if they have a third defense reaction, forces 1 card and they go to 1, or we're now at a point where we can just or they're going to force 2 cards here. And then at 2 cards, the best thing they can have is a 0-coster. So, like, a Codex could be really good here. I'm always really, like, intrigued about to see people playing these, the yellow versions of this card. Like, I know the blues and the reds because, like, there's a lot of blues and reds in the current format of the metagame. Like, everybody plays blues and reds for resources and efficiency, but I am a little surprised to see them playing that. Let's go Claw. I like throwing the Claw here. This is 4, and we're going to give a go again, discarding the blue Agile Windup, and then I'm going to pitch the yellow Agile Windup to play this in packing here. Now, they probably just get the card back into their hand. I highly doubt that they'll end up taking 1. Well, they've already taken their 1 point, so if they're not able to block this out to get their card back, they're just dead. Which I guess is an option. So they did have a Leave No Witnesses that turn, but I didn't have an Arsenal, so my opponent decided to keep it. Interesting. This has been, like, my opponent's made a couple of interesting decisions here. And I don't know, I would like to know what their rationale is. I'm not just going to sit and call them wrong, but I am definitely intrigued by some of the decisions they have made to this point. I did leave Cast Bones in, and we haven't seen any Cast Bones, and we've only seen one Bloodrush, so I'm a little scared to play Pulping here. I don't think I can live in that fear, in all honesty, but I am a little afraid of it. I think we'll just do this and give him a card off the top of the deck. And then we win an extra might. They get a card off the top of the deck, which is a Command and Conquer. I mean, the deeper we go in the deck, the higher the chances of us missing on this get. We discarded a runner. Okay, I mean, so this probably just ends the game. I was like, I don't know that they can, like, they'd have to have defense react from hand and arsenal here, and I didn't think they were going to be able to cover that out. So, a couple of interesting plays, but we were able to get there in the end. This game starts in a very interesting way, as my opponent was actually able to use Mask of Recurring Nightmares to strip a red pack hump from my hand, and then throw a Command and Conquer for 8 at me. Now, there's a lot of value in their play, and they put me down to 30, but honestly, them destroying the Beast Within was like the gotcha play that I really needed. I still ended up with a 4-card hand and a Bloodrush that allowed me to throw Claw for 6 and Savage Beatdown for 14 for a 20-point 4-card hand to start the game. On turn 3, I was still able to get them with the same gotcha play of the Beast Within and Arsenal on another Command and Conquer. Now, it's worth noting that this doesn't always work because it does not work with Leave No Witnesses. You don't get the Beast Within effect. But when your opponent throws a Command and Conquer at you and you have a Beast Within an Arsenal, it really just sets you up to take some damage and still provide a good hand. And I was still able to throw a Pack Hunt for 6 with Go Again because of the Agility token, and then throw a Swing Big to finish off the turn. Towards the end of the game, I had back-to-back turns where I was able to strip 3 cards out of my opponent's hand. The first one was a red Bear Fangs for 9, and then the second turn was a red Wild Ride followed by a red Runner to really put me in the driver's seat and give me the room I needed to finish the game. Guys, if you see anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.